Welcome back to Mimosas with Comadres. My name is Mimi.
Lola.
And we have some lovely guests today. Joining us we have
Tetyana
and
Jeanné.
Jeanné. So Tetyana, Jeanné, how do you guys know us?
Through dance.
Yeah.
The Latin dance community of San Antonio from years back.
Yes.
I think we need your help to do the math and figure that out.
Let's just not make it plural. It's a year.
Mine personally isn't that long. No,
Actually, I'm just barely meeting Jeanné today, actually. But
Yeah.
I've seen her in Facebook or some, videos, of
Yeah.
course, in the Latin dance scene. So this is how we know Tetyana and Jeanné is through the Latin dance scene. Lola and I did do some Latin dancing for movie La Sensual, and then also you were in
Island Touch and Alex and Desiree, and that's how I know Tetyana.
Yeah.
And then Tukum-Pá, maybe partial season
Yeah.
with Jeanné.
Okay, so you actually tried it out. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I tried it, but I think my injury got in the way, and I just was too scared to push forward, so I just kind of slowly stepped back. I'm like Homer in the bushes.
Yeah, definitely. So these ladies pretty much have inspired a lot of women around San Antonio, and wanted to have them on, especially for this episode 32. It's no eres bebecita, eres bebesota. All right, that's the episode, and I feel like you guys can really give us some good tips later on in the show how to muster that and showcase it, even if you really don't believe it in real life, but at least you can showcase it until you believe it, right? I'm going to put you guys in the spot, later on the show, see what kind of tips you guys can give us to get out of our shells.
Because when I met both of them, it was like a very soft-spoken person, and then once the lights hit, it's just like, let's go, and I'm like, oh, I hadn't gotten there yet, so I was like, I know where my feet go, everything else on the face had not come about, but it's just enjoyed just to see y'all dance and like where y'all, how far you've come and everything else, and it's just empowering to me to see, because I'm like, wow, this is great, and every year it gets better.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely love seeing you guys dance. Tetyana, one of your solos that you had a couple years ago with the black little bodysuit thing. Man, that was
yes.
The one dance that I've ever seen.
It's one of the ones around the floor.
Yeah, you usually are on the floor rolling around, but it makes it look very effortlessly, because I will not be doing that. Monica obviously had to deal with our shenanigans.
Yeah.
God bless her soul. But moving from that, let's go ahead and just jump in with our cheese in the time. So this is pretty much where we kind of talk, touch up what we've been doing, and kind of just touch base with, what we want to share with everybody. So the first thing is, of course, we've been doing some social events lately. The last one we did was the adult bingo, and actually it was pretty good. It was funny as heck. We actually
How adult is it?
Oh, it's very. I mean, I got a pussy pocket for a prize, so
Yeah.
that's pretty adult. You know what I mean? And this is the only bingo that I didn't want to win. I was like, oh please, I don't want to win that. I wanted to win some other products that were cool, but I was like, when they said pussy pocket, I was like, this. Dang it, I better not get it. I better not. And sure enough,
she won.
I got it.
It's okay, Christmas is coming up, white elephants.
Oh, that thing will get rejected. That get rejected. There's no need for that here in the home, especially with a teenager here.
Like, you better hide it.
Might find it. And I don't want to deal with those consequences. But yeah, no, that nothing's definitely going to get rejected. So it was really fun. It was JoJo, she was our life coach, she joined us, and somebody else came in that she actually networked with. She was actually she is a face painter, and she was really interesting, so I kind of, maybe she'll be on in the future, and we met a couple there too as well while they were chilling with us, and my partner went, and he was the focus of the host, and the host is actually the owner of this place. Actually happened in Deco Pizzeria off of Fredericksburg Road, the Deco district, and we actually met him a month or two before we went to this bar hopping in that area. And he was of course, very happy at that time, because when we reintroduced ourselves, hey, you don't remember this? Oh, you had to trigger it, oh yeah, I met you guys before. But he was really focused on my partner, and the whole night was on him, flirting with him, trying to get invested, and he would give out his phone number to people there, so that way people can text him and show him crazy pics, and he was asking for crazy pics that night. But he was very like, it was really fun. Like some of the prizes were like actually buckets of like beer. You know, he would buy actually bought like 2 rounds of shots that night. So it was really welcoming. But definitely is very R-rated. So no kids or anything. You know, that should not be a family night kind of night. You know, but it's really fun, and the whole thing is free. The bingo is free, so you can just show up and play bingo. The pizza was really good. We ate the Mediterranean pizza, and I think you guys had
pepperoni
and like a cheese spread. It was really good. I really highly recommend the pizza there, and the vibes were good. So we just had a really good night, and I got a prize. Well, when I won, I made my partner. Actually, he wanted my partner to go up to get the prize, so he can flirt with him even more.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, he was a good sport, so like. Good. At least he got us some kind of free stuff that night with people flirting on him. Like, this is the type of rewards I like, and I don't mind people flirting with you if I get free drinks, I get a free prize, I get a free entry. That's a reward for me, you know, at the end of the day. But besides adult bingo, hopefully that was the last one. Hopefully we start redoing it in season 2 for like activities, like of course some wellness activities and some social events too. So we'll see how that goes for season 2. And talking about season 2, this is actually our 1 year of Mimosas with Comadres.
Yay.
So it started in September. So it's been a journey for sure, and just pretty much just like let's go with the flow this whole season. Let's just do this. It's going to flow. We don't know really what we want to do, but it came out. I mean, we got some pretty good interviews this season. I greatly appreciate it. And Lola was able to like withhold my craziness and like the way I do things sometimes, you know, which I appreciate Lola for doing that. And then getting her out, like talking and out of your shell.
Oh, and first, because she didn't do video, she didn't do nothing, and I was just kind of like I had a lot of pauses, and then once I got the hang of it's just a conversation, I was like, oh, okay, it's good at those.
Yeah, it's not as easy. It just takes time.
I'll just have Jeanné here with me because she's so good at conversation. Small town, small talk. I'm from New York. I don't make small talk.
Goodness.
Yeah, like let's go. Come on, we got somewhere to be.
We need to go to the focus, to the end point. So I also want to touch base. Why I named this "No eres bebecita, eres bebesota" because of course my husband, that he doesn't know, was here in San Antonio just recently. You know, Bad Bunny. I wasn't able to go to the damn concert, but maybe next year. You know, I'll be in the nosebleed section because I am not gonna afford the $1,000 or $4,000. Like I don't know how many $1,000 were like.
They were that expensive?
Yeah, they were pretty expensive.
7,000.
Yeah, they were like a lot. Like to be like. Grabbing his sweat, I guess, from when he's walking around or something.
I mean, you probably sell that back.
On a palm tree.
Yeah,
or
he was wearing a palm tree.
I was like, I'll just watch Facebook and I'll see.
Yeah,
it was like some platform.
It was a platform, but he made it like a little palm tree.
Nice.
So he was floating in there. So it was like the reason why I'm bringing him up is because he actually did something really nice for the Uvalde people. He bought him some tickets, and they were just not regular tickets. They actually had box seat tickets. Tickets. They got him merch and dinner for the night. So that was actually really nice for all the Uvalde victims to get out and just enjoy that. So I really appreciated that one. And of course, we can't ignore the other person. I think that's been kind of trending is the Queen. You know, passing away. How old was she? 94, I think. 96. Okay, wow. Well, she lived a life, definitely. There's some
years.
Yeah.
She was the queen, like the only queen, right?
Yeah.
For the longest queen.
The longest queen. Now it's what, Charles in charge. He's now the king. So I don't know how that is gonna go. It really doesn't affect me directly, so I really don't have that much to say. But you know, I do like seeing like some of the good tributes, and then some of the like people who are actually very excited that she passed away. So that's been interesting. I won't dive into that too much because I haven't really researched it, but it all happens of
I've
the
seen some
People excited.
Not excited,
but great, like yay, like she
Great Britain took over a lot of places and things. Right?
happened a
So
lot of
history
genocides
isn't-
of the indigenous, you know. There's been a lot of stuff questionable and kind of horrific stuff that happened while she was in reign. So,
Yeah.
but we read from the Queen and everything else. Kind of we want to just go ahead and dive into the Nopos Wow. Nopos Wow, for the ones who don't know, is just pretty much a section where we get like articles, things that are trending social media in our neck of the woods, San Antonio. Or in our lives, that makes us go like Nopos Wow, like in other words, like holy shit, you know, that's a translation, right? So one of the pretty much, and so one of them I think is just because we have like females on here, I want to touch base on that. Is vabbing. Have y'all ever heard of that?
No.
No, it's a very TikTok trend. That's where it's like getting the fire, of like the whole vabbing experience. So pretty much, you guys know what is those parties? Pure romance.
Yes.
Pure romance parties. Lisa. I don't know if you guys ever gone, but I've gone. It's a little. These like little bottles, like for $20-something. They're like pheromones, and you're supposed to put them here and the back of your neck, and it's supposed to attract the opposite sex or anybody really towards you, right? So these pheromones, and these pheromones are
whose pheromones are they that you're?
These are produced. These are from China. These are China pheromone produced chemicals.
It's chemically produced. You're not putting
no human things. So these pheromones,
Lisa,
I know. Thanks to Lisa, her pheromones are a good late tonight. No, but those pheromones, and when you put them on, they change on everybody. So like everybody has a different scent because it attracts to your skin. Chemistry, whatever. So those things. Okay, now vabbing is the same nature, but vabbing is actually women putting their 2 fingers and going in their vagina, doing a little swirl, and getting the juices and putting them on the back of your neck area, or in your wrist area if you want to. So
you got the hard work for these guys, and you're just kind of like, here you go. This, do you like? No, okay, next.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder if
This is like
the actual scent would take back from the pheromone attraction, because pheromones, like, you don't actually smell them, right? It's the hormone attraction somewhere on sub whatever cellular level that the attraction happens. But then the conscious mind, I feel like, would get stuck on the scent that you do physically smell. That might be counterproductive.
I'm like, is this like immediately post shower?
Okay, so let me explain the rules.
That might clean out the.
Well, let me explain the rules, because the original.
What's the right way to do it?
Yeah, there we go. The rules, the right way to do it, the way we're not going to get infections, is pretty much shower or bathe beforehand.
Okay.
So you're clean, right? We're not doing this when you're running a
Not after
marathon.
practice, and you're like,
Not after jam practice, and you're like, let me Swift, and do that. It's not the
It's
ideal.
like the most
moment.
potent.
You want to make it happen.
I don't know if you're going to attract a human or an animal at that point when it's the most potent. No, I'm joking. But wash your hands before and after. Okay, so hygiene.
Okay.
If you go to the gym, wipe down any equipment before and after if you decide to do vabbing in the gym. This one I really highly don't recommend, but that some people are doing it.
You would do it on the equipment?
No, you need to wipe down the gym equipment before and after. So let's say you vabbed, and you're gonna go get on the exercise. They don't want you to just immediately wash your hands, wipe down the equipment, make it sanitary. When you get off, wipe down the equipment again. That's kind of normally gym etiquette, but definitely you really need to be on top of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking
right?
like all the people at Planet Fitness, I have no idea if they're
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody has to wipe down their neck.
You better have a little carry-on bottle now. And then do not let other areas that you vabbed to touch people or other surfaces. Let's say, meaning that, okay, around the neck area, right, try not to hug people, like it's, or, other people, because they don't want to be, they're going to be up in your neck area, just being conscious and nice and polite to other people's
What if it's
space.
like that person that you're trying to attract?
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
You don't
it's not
say
going to
it.
the person, but.
Well, those
Hey,
people,
come
yeah.
give me a hug.
Well, because those people, I think the whole idea is to smell you. They can't, they're supposed to attract it, because I'll touch base on that a little bit, but,
And then play hard to get, right?
yeah, kind of a thing, yeah.
You can smell me, but that's it.
That's it, kind of thing.
Put a fan on the behind you.
There you go, the little portable fans.
Bring a little.
It's the portable fans, the ones that we use when we're dancing.
The
Those.
dancers were like, you can smell me, but we can't dance.
Yeah, exactly. Another rule is, if you have your period, of course, just wait.
I didn't even think about that.
STD or any other spreadable diseases, do not vab. Any unusual smell or bad odor, do not vab. Go see your doctor. You do not need a lot of kitty juice for a successful dab. Okay? So those are the questions. Those are the rules that apparently TikTok had to clarify, because people are crazy. They don't really there's some people that don't really fully think it through. And then obviously they've been doing this stuff, and these rules have been coming out recently. So that's that. So the one, so the one about pheromones. So they're saying that it's just like about rubbing it, whatever. It's supposed to smell because not every man has been able to pick up on that, and not every man is attracted to that smell. Same thing when you're like having sex, you have a smell there, right? Some men love it and they're attracted to it and they want to come at it, and then some men are like they're not attracted to you because that scent's not getting them in that motion, right? The other one is the whole odor thing, right? If your vagina is really smelling, like your pH is obviously really off, don't be doing that. Like you have to go see the doctor, I would say.
I know you can tell before you get there, but I mean,
yeah, you should be able to smell. Like if you smell yourself and you're like, ugh, and kind of make a face, then let's not do it. Let's not do it. Let's not have tonight.
That reminds me of a meme. This girl is like has a picture of herself all like sexy whatever, and the caption on her post is like, this pussy's hot when it burns when I pee.
Oh,
and the comment is like, oh,
that's a confection.
I've seen that.
Yeah, same
those
back to
rules
back.
are for people
There
that
you go.
I was wondering how that works.
I'm curious to know like where this is the most popular.
Where? Wait, here in the United States, not any other
Yeah,
countries.
in the U.S.
In the U.S., this is because I've seen stitches from people from other countries and they don't get what we're doing here. So that's very common, right? But this is very common here in the United States. And when people like our age, nobody older and probably maybe a little bit younger than us, so it's very common. And the women who have done it, they swear by it. They say they get swarmed with men, they get more attention at night when they do that, and all this stuff. Also, like I know the imagery is like sometimes like very juicy, like you're gonna have like slime coming all over you. It's not like they say it's very little, very little is better, being discreet about it and going around here. I've never done this. I'm just saying what I've heard. But there's a very little bit. So again, if you're discharging a lot, that's another like time to go see a doctor kind of thing too, right? So those are clues of seeing a doctor. So I'm guessing in a way it's paying more attention to your vagina too, kind of it's a better health kind of thing too. I feel like, well, these women are paying more attention to their vagina. They're seeing something off. Shouldn't smell like that. Your pH is off. Maybe I should go see the doctor. So yeah, it's kind of something crazy that I've been seeing a lot, and like some women that do it, they actually like really believe into it and they really are into it. So but yeah, I do want to touch base on the pH balance. I do feel, okay, so I'm going to be honest. So I went out on karaoke night on to 101 Southtown. So they have karaoke night on Wednesday. Went out, joined my night, went to the restroom. There was a girl in the restroom before I can smell, right? I was like, oh, maybe she's, drunk going to the restroom, right? And you know how that can be pretty bad. And there's no other restrooms, like I need to go, so I was like, I'm stuck here. But I realized she only peed. So, okay, so whatever, she comes out and I can smell her. And I feel like her pH was very much very off.
Maybe she ate asparagus beforehand.
Right.
Because there's that like asparagus pea smell that
also
happens.
That also happened. It could have been. She was dressed like she went out to dinner and after that she had drinks. But it was really off, and it just took me aback because like, oh my God, I could smell you. But it didn't smell like kind of the typical thing, oh, it smelled like fish. Like, no, it did not smell like fish. It just smelled like her pH was wrong. Like, you could tell, like, that's her vagina smell. And I'm like, I was just worried for her the whole night because I was like, oh my God. And she had a date, so I was like, like visualizing, like, oh no. But I mean, he's into it. He was all over her and like, hey, that's a pure thing that he's attracted to her, her smell, because it was very obvious. It's not like
some guys just
are very oblivious,
or they're like
care.
Or some people, or just people have different sensitivity to scents and smells. Especially like our own, right? We don't notice as much just because we're in it around all the time. But another person will definitely pick it up.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I know, like, I have a certain musk to me, like, when I sweat or, like, I'm just being me, your skin, everybody has a different scent. My partner tells me, he goes, yeah, everybody has, like, their own different scent, and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, great, at least if I go missing, you can find me, that's where I'm at. Like, where am I, that's, like, how I take it. All right, so moving on from the vabbing. All right, so from that, we're going to go ahead and go into another one kind of, highlighting, I guess, dating and the whole thing of why women are doing this is to attract the opposite sex is San Antonio Tinder. Are you guys on? I know you're married, right?
I'm not married.
Oh,
no.
shoot. Okay.
But I am in a relationship.
Okay, all right. I am too, but I actually met my partner online, so
Nice.
that's what I'll reference when I was dating. Are you guys on any Tinder? On the other two?
No.
No. Okay. There's actually been a lot of people who've met their loved ones on Tinder and stuff like that, but there's also a lot of what the Tinder is known for casual hookups, more just going out and having fun. The reason why I bringing it up is because one of the articles for a those About Me sections, they kind of highlighted it on Essay Current. It was for San Antonio Tinder. So the guy's name, this is a fake name because it's all Harry Potter, but his name is Draco. He's 22. He's modeling and escorting service at a church. So that was like weird. Modeling and escorting services at a church.
Okay.
He's a straight man, lives in San Antonio. He's 7 miles away from whoever screenshotted this, but he's in San Antonio. So his read before, matching thing is, I own multiple women and I'm currently accepting new girls. I'm a Christian man. We cannot forget about Jesus Christ. But I'm a Christian man who doesn't believe in orgies, feet, or any of those demonic things. In order to be accepted as one of my soldiers, you must renounce your faith and allow yourself to be baptized into Christianity by me. Notifications are off. I respond faster on Instagram.
So he doesn't believe in feet and all those demonic things, but owning women,
He's
cool
full
with.
for it.
Okay.
He's full for it. Yeah, he's full for it. And if you want to be, his soldier, you have to get baptized. So then eventually you can be his slave. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So, have y'all read?
22.
He's 20. He's supposedly 22. I don't know. This sounds more like he's older. You know what I mean? Being those creepy people, you never know what you're gonna get. Have you ever seen
what's
any
the
hard
picture?
pass? No, they
What's
didn't show
the
any
picture?
picture. I wanted them to see if they screenshot this picture, but they didn't.
No.
They didn't.
Sad.
They didn't. But yeah, this is one of the San Antonio Tinder threads I have like on Twitter, and this one kind of like blew up on him because of course, obviously, I'm in church and he's like.
Well, they're
Christian
talking about it
and
like being a cult almost.
Basically.
Like he's trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
start
he's
it
trying to
like
do
that,
that. But there is no picture, but we don't know who this man is. Hopefully,
Tinder
no one.
escort cult.
Yeah, exactly. He's very conflicted there, but I've seen some crazy profiles, explanations. Like they don't turn out to be so crazy until they start messaging you, and then they start like showing their true colors sometimes. So like there was one instance like it was a man and turned out he was married, and it was like a whole couple thing that they want to do a threesome or have like a third person enjoying like their relationship. And I was just asking questions just to know more about what's going on. And he's like, no, this is not like a threesome. It's gonna be actually like a relationship. Like we want you guys to be like involved. I'm like, oh really? He goes, we're gonna go off like in a Caribbean cruise. We want to take you, blah blah blah. And I was like, you're enticing me with the Caribbean cruise, But
Like this is
I like cruises, but not that one.
disaster.
Yeah.
You're stuck on the boat altogether.
Yeah, exactly. They just kept on going off and everything. I obviously didn't end up joining that, but just because of my own fear, like, okay, I'm gonna go on this, they're gonna have me in a cage and like be locked up in there and you're never gonna see me back. You know what I mean? So that was that always kept me like, no, I'm not doing those things. And obviously what also helped me is I have kids, like now I have to come back the next day. Like there's no me going into a cruise or even believing your lies. But that couple weren't very upfront, but this person's very upfront, and I don't know if he's ever had success with somebody, because there is some people that do like this type of like that type of danger or that type of unknown or something, so it's not very uncommon that
Call it
women
adventures.
adventures, because there's women that that pen pal, they want to marry like those guys in death row and prison. They obviously know that they've killed women. They're still wanting to get married with them. They have friends.
There's a market for anything. As
There
you guys
is.
said last
Yeah.
episode. It goes to it.
There is definitely a market. I always say there's a market for anything, girl. Like, there is.
Well, the women do the same. This was
sure.
way long time ago, but I was on Bumble just for friends, and then I was like, let's see what the dating pool is like. It's not. It's a puddle. But I was on the friend side, and just let's go have brunch, let's go have whatever. I have some free time, whatever. And I met this woman, very nice. We just talked, and she started talking about gardening. I was like, I don't have a green thumb. I said the plants will die, and she just was, well, if you do this and you use soil and la la la. Okay, and then she's like, I have a very personal question to ask you. I was like, oh Lord, this is my very first time being asked something like this, but I wasn't expecting that. I thought she was just gonna ask like, can we meet up, whatever. so long story short, she just was like, my husband and I would like to have someone come in, and she asked basically if I would perform the services, and she sit back and watch. And I said, well, how the hell did we get from plants to, to doing this? And then I'm like, all the flags started like came all on at once, because I was like, she's buttering me up. She's trying to be nice and just see how I am. Maybe she was like, what if she is crazy? And I'm like, you're asking me to do that. I was like, don't that hurt your feelings that your husband wants to have another woman in your bedroom? And I just started asking, huh?
It might be her idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't ask that part, but I just was like, on my point of view, I said, well, I would be hurt if my husband wanted to have like, that's why I stood up and let's get another woman in here. It's like, no, if you're not happy with me, then bye. There's a door. So, but she was very nice, and she answered my questions, and she's like, well, this is something we've been married for so long, and once you do all the tricks, and there's only so much you can do to have that fire, she's like, we move on to other stuff. So she kept saying we. There was never like a him or I. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe they discussed this. I mean, very adult conversation, but I politely declined, and I was like, but I wish you well. I hope you meet someone that's nice, because you never know who may accept those offers. So, but I was like, it's coming from women too. So I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I stayed off of that. But I said, wow. So I don't know, but it was just nuts. So
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own. I have friends who have been in polygamous relationships, and works for them. So cool. I'm not that good at sharing, so I want to be the priority and only person.
Yeah.
But if they work it out, the cool thing I found interesting is from friends who have shared is, like, you do need to be very communicative with all the partners and have rules in place, and for it to be successful, it needs to be pretty structured, and you talk through all the possibilities and who goes where, what's whose role, what's allowed, what's not allowed, like, is it just the few of you, are you bringing extra, like, all the possibilities that, like, we need to discuss, we need to be open, we need to be honest about our feelings, and so I was like, honestly, that actually sounds very mature. Like, you need to have a level of maturity to maintain and sustain all of that and have it be a successful thing. But I'm sure there are also people who treat it just to, like, play around with everyone and not be committed to anyone, and yay, freedom. And
I
I
guess a
don't
lot
know
of
if
people,
those work out, or if it's better for them to stay single, quote unquote, and just,
like Draco right here.
Yes. Or just
I
start an army.
He should have gone to ChristianMingle.com or something.
Ooh,
That would have been more of like, people were like, okay, cool,
better market.
maybe, why not? You said God. No,
we're going to church though, right?
So we're gonna go to church after.
All together. After, before, whatever.
Yeah, all the soldiers were gonna line up in the pew. That's definitely something different. But it just highlights like what everybody's trying to do is just attract the other person, find their person, find that confidence or that, whatever makes it work. The vabbing, if that works for those girls, they swear by it. I swear to God. I'm like, I was thinking about it, should I? But I'm already with a partner. Like, am I doing this for research purposes? Just see if it really does work. But I'm like,
see if it attracts him anymore.
Like, I want to go out and attract someone else I can find. Like, if it really does, if I throw in a millionaire or someone who's like really well off entrepreneur, like, all right, then I can definitely like say it works.
You gotta be a third wheel.
Yeah. I mean, he's, like I said, if I get rewarded with his people flirting with him, then if he gets rewarded with the stuff the other guy, it's a win-win situation. But
they recently got an offer to be a sugar baby finally, so check that out.
Yay!
That option.
Like screenshot block.
Yeah, exactly.
For future story.
We are going to have a future sugar baby episode, so maybe do it for research and see how that comes out. But everybody does all these things just to feel attractive and empowered and confident, right? So you guys, we've mentioned it before. I'm always like taking it back, even though I did it. Like I played around with Latin dancing, like what I mean. I did it, it was fun. It was exciting. I can't say not the uniform, the costumes sometimes in some certain groups were like kind of crazy, but the other ones were pretty good. I felt good about it.
The wigs you didn't like, or
no, the one that was completely nude. That one, like nude, like
with the wigs.
With the wigs, yeah.
Oh, the humanity one.
Yeah, especially when that was like the biggest, like I was like the biggest, the curvier one in that group, and then I was like, okay, let's do it. If we're gonna wear this, we're gonna wear it. And then everybody else took it out. Like not you, you wore it, but like other girls that were very like confident that I thought didn't want to wear it. I was like, girl, like I almost spent $200 on this nude sprinkle thing here. We're gonna wear it, you know. But it was one of those. It's really nice just because those dancing groups helped with my confidence when I was doing it, and it helped me kind of have that rush and be more secure in how I felt, and also sexy on the stage. You know, the whole point. Yeah, that I would take off my glasses.
You too.
Yeah,
What?
Lola did it too.
Lola too.
Oh,
When
I
you're
was in the
performing.
back. I was lovely. I was fine. I was in the
Would you
back.
wear your glasses when you perform?
No, I would take them off. So I was
Okay,
like
I thought
partially
you-
blind, but I was like, as long as I can see the person in front of me, I'm fine. But then sometimes I wore my contacts, so which was good because with the formations,
Mhm.
you gotta move. You don't want to bump into somebody, especially if you're trying to look at the crowd.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I'd look down or up, and I'm counting them. Like, okay,
goodness.
where am I going down? Like, look at the crowd. I'm like, okay, but there's people out there.
I would look at the crowd, but my thing was I would have to take off my glasses because I'm pretty blind without my glasses. So everybody in the crowd was a blur.
Yeah.
So I could be playing with the girl, with the male, with like my own people. I'm like whatever. But I didn't know because I didn't have my glasses. That was like my trick and my tip is to go blind. No, I'm joking. I take them off and that would feel a lot better because I couldn't see everybody's facial expression, like them looking at me or whatever. I just saw like shapes like moving around, whatever, and that's what helped me.
Yeah.
I could see them like because there were objects like right in my periphery, like in my range, but
The other team members.
anything, yeah, the other team members I could see, but anything in the crowd I couldn't see. I would have to take that off. So and then I would love to see the performance from everybody else and how like confident they were, you know, from little kids to like grown ups. You know, it was just amazing to see that. So I kind of wanted to touch base with you guys because I think you guys kind of showcase it very well, and you guys have more. You guys teach this. I mean, you guys cannot. You guys teach this. Showcases like how Lola was saying that you guys are shy and quiet, timid, and like in person, and then all of a sudden you're like boom, camera, and you're all like sexy vixens out there. You know what I mean? And just like bosses over there. So I really do appreciate that, like that switch you guys do.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, I want you guys to introduce yourselves. Like, what kind of dance you guys do? What are you teaching? Your company, everything. Just like brag. Okay.
So, as my side hustle, because you have a full-time day job that a lot of people don't realize I do, but as my side hustle, I'm owner and director of TDance Company, which currently specializes in Latin dance, bachata, salsa. I've done Zouk lessons as well, and currently for this season we have ladies bachata and ladies salsa team with Jeanné as my co-director and choreographer of the salsa routine and director of that team.
And Jeanné, you do also salsa, or do you do another genre of Latin dance?
Oh, salsa, bachata. I don't know. I do. Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah,
So,
whatever.
a little
Both of
jazz.
us have experiences in studio dance growing up in high school. I've been dancing since I was 5, so did little kiddie jazzy groups.
Yeah.
Then I did ballroom competitively in college for 3 years, and then when I went to San Antonio, ballroom wasn't really a big thing here, and it's expensive if you do it privately or as pro-am. And so I joined the bachata team because Jeanné was having auditions the week that I moved. So it's like, let me give it a try. I've done choreography before. I've bachata basic, like let's
So you
see
started in
what's up with
Seminaya?
that. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, back in 2013.
Wow.
So, and then from there, started doing bachata teams, co-ed and ladies, salsa groups. Then had a Zouk phase where I studied that pretty intensely. Did some kizomba, but yeah, have background in jazzy, ballet, whatever studio training. Nothing super intense and like point and tutus, but as part of the training you do for the other styles, have that experience. And Jeanné's background as well in different styles, techniques.
But I didn't start dancing until I was like 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was just a high school drill team, or we had a dance class to like prep the freshmen for the drill team that was offered to the sophomores and up.
Okay.
And so that was really fun because I want to say like the year that it was offered was the first year that they did it, and so we had like a big group of us go from some of us never dancing, and then a group of like some people that were my age like come from studios, so it was interesting because we would learn from them too, and our instructor, we would learn like those basic techniques for like ballet or jazz. And then I did that in high school, and then when I moved to San Antonio and went to UTSA, we had the Latin Dance Society, and that was the first I was ever exposed, so 18, ever exposed to salsa, like dancing. Like I had listened to bachata, but I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
I had like lots of friends growing up, and we would listen to Aventura and Extreme. Like we would listen to all the time. And then I came to San Antonio and UTSA, and I was like, we can dance to that.
That's what you do with
I know all these songs. Yeah. And just like taking tons and tons of workshops at any events or congresses and like a variety of things. I want to say there was like a year I was really into kizomba, and I took a lot of stuff from there, and then there was like a year I was really into Argentine tango, and just always kept doing salsa and bachata. Tukum-Pá came about because when we graduated, there was like a group of friends who really wanted to still attend the events, but it's way cheaper to do if you perform. And I had choreographed as part of LDS, Latin Dance Society. Not Latter-day Saints. I had choreographed some routines for them for years, and then I had done it for the younger groups too. And then when we graduated, it was like, well, what do we do? Like, we either pay so much money a month to do one of the other teams in San Antonio, but a lot of us like couldn't necessarily afford that.
Yeah.
So we went from having like a $25 a semester at UTSA to per month like $80, and it's like I just graduated. And so my friends, and it was just mostly a group of guys, they were like, if you choreograph a routine for us and we have a team, we can go as the team to the congresses and pay for performer fees. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And then we did, and then it was cool. It just worked. And COVID, whatever. So then, when she created TDance, I was like, can I come underneath you? Can we put Tukum-Pá underneath that? And she was like, okay.
Oh, nice. That's great. I mean, I don't know how you have energy to do everything you do. All these
barely
companies and all these groups, and you guys just came back from Congress, didn't you? What Congress did you?
Two. We had the BIG San Antonio in the middle of August, and then just 3 weeks later, past weekend, we had BIG Houston, where we had at San Antonio, 5 of our teams performed. In Houston, it was 4 of our teams. So it was a mix of both physically dancing ourselves, but also coordinating people and doing extra rehearsals. So a lot of mental toll as well. Jeanné was taking workshops somehow with whatever energy she had. I was sleeping.
So, I think that's why I got
social dance.
I'm telling you, I didn't sleep.
Yeah, so I got sick after San Antonio BIG because there I stayed up social dancing for 2 nights, and like Sunday barely slept at all. Slept for like an hour before going to work, and then got sick after that. And then Jeanné went a little too hard at BIG Houston, and now she's coughing, sniffling. So it definitely takes a toll. It's tough.
We don't
fun.
have the energy.
Love it. Yeah, we
make it.
You guys are in charge of a lot of people too, because 4 to 5 teams you guys are like managing and talk about that. I can barely remember one choreography. Like you're like good. You know what I mean? You guys have to like know everything. Well, because it's a different passion, different love. You know what I mean?
And practice.
Practice.
Like,
Practice.
Yeah, high school, like we would have, I don't know how many different types of routines. Like with drill team, we had halftime shows, we had performance, pep rallies, we had spring showcases or competition. We had just little routines we had to do in the stands at the shows before we did the show. So like, there's all kinds of things you had to remember, and it's literally just practice. Like, I just worked that part of my brain. At some point, there's a lot of people who join the teams who will say the same thing. Like, I can hardly remember the one. And personally, I think it's easier, I don't know if you're going to agree, to remember one if I do more than one. Like, remembering the one, it's easier for me to do this one well and remember it if I have at least another one, and I have to remember all of them.
So you really exceed in stressful situations.
I don't know that it's stress. The only stress I feel is having to perform.
So like the actual like the crowd actually gets you some.
I
some type of
like
way?
to create. I like to learn. I like to do. But like, I mean, you guys are saying that we do a good job. I don't know if you're mostly thinking about her because I haven't performed in a long time besides recently, but it's never been something I love to do. Like,
they're more like the behind the scenes, you know, kind of like.
I love to watch like people do what I came up with.
Okay, yeah.
I've like cried because I've been happy.
Aww.
I'm like, that was so good, you guys.
I was like, yes, come join my company, because for me it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like in my dance upbringing was always like, copy, learn, perfect, perform, and that's what I'm good at. I never really got the training up or the practice and the creative side of choreographing my own or creating. So most teams I've done have been franchise teams in which I purchase a routine from somebody else. So the music is cut, the costumes are designed, the choreography exists. I just need to learn it, reteach it to other people, break it down into elements, drill it, perfect, and perform, put in a show. So Jeanné, you're like, I can choreograph. I was like, cool, come do that. I'll take your choreography. We're just paying somebody else for it. We'll pay you. And she's like, and you can do all the admin stuff and perform. I don't want to do. So cool.
But she's making me perform.
It's a good match then. It's a good match. Both the things, creating and then what you do, Tetyana, I want to call you Tetyana, is still like hard and very like masterful in its own way. So because I can't even like follow something, it takes me a while. But I think it also is because this is y'all's passion. Like this is you guys really love to do this. Okay, so that's why you don't seem like, oh, it's not stressful because you love to do this. I started dancing because I wanted to do something out of the box because I grew up in a dancing world, but more of like the jazz, drill team, modern, that kind of stuff. But I never done Latin dancing. Ironically, I'm from the Valley where it's like, there should be a lot of that going on. But it's more cumbia and tejano, not really bachata and
There's more
salsa.
now. They're really growing.
Yes, there is more now.
They have events almost every weekend now.
Yes.
I'm going to teach at my calendar in October.
Yes.
Some bachata and zouk, bringing
They're
teams
doing
to perform,
really good,
so
They're doing really good, but when I was growing up, it
Mhm.
wasn't a popular thing. Barely salsa, too, as well. So I was like, let me do this, because I've gotten a partner who was actually really good salsa and bachata dancer. I'm like, let me do something out of my own box and maybe I'll lose weight out of it. But no, it was opposite. But,
all those after practice team dinners?
The dinners and all that stuff.
Tacos
The tacos, let's go, man, go get some margaritas kind of thing, the situations that was going on. But I did, so that's why it was so like out of the norm for me. But I really liked it. I loved it, but it wasn't like a passion for me, right? So it became stressful for a certain. I had to take a break. I was like, okay, let me take a break. Let me go back. I'm thinking I'm going back into it again, just to like, okay, let's do this again, so that way I can get back into it. Cause I do like it. I like seeing y'all. I like going to socials, and I like doing all that stuff, and I like being the viewer, as Lola knows. We like to watch a lot.
Well, I guess that's why I was saying with you that is you turn it on, because maybe it's something that I wouldn't have known that had you not said that. I would not have known. And I think that's with most people. Like when I tell people I dance, they look at me like, really? Because I'm not graceful. Like my walk is very like stocky. Like I'm not like flowing through the room, So
I mean,
they're just like, you dance. They're like,
you dance what? And I'm like, and they're like,
So, but I mean,
this way, girl.
And it has nothing to do with that either, too. When I hear people can dance, I always think of like what kind of background, and I do see that because I've told her, Tetyana, before that she has very graceful moves to something that's supposed to be kind of raw. Like bachata, when I think about it, very sensual, and you're like close and you're in someone's space, and that bugs me. I'm just like, I don't know, that's too close, that's too close. But then there's traditional, which is so much more fun, and you kind of can do it with anybody because you're not worried about like the space issue. Like there's room for Jesus. So
there is like DR clothes. Like people in DR dance with their parents and their grandparents and their kids. Like people there don't learn from a studio. And these are the steps. And here's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Like just pass down, have fun with your family and friends. So dancing doesn't have that meaning of it has to be sex or super close or have any meaning, like it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we tend to
Except a lot of
sexualize
songs
things.
are.
Well, as growing up, well, at least with me here, when you're dancing cumbia, I only learned to dance it in a circle, and you were by yourself unless you had a partner. Or I would only see it with couples, like older couples, like married couples. So that to me was part of why I was kind of like, I'm okay with sensual bachata. Like, no, I don't need to do it. Like, it's fun to watch. But like with just y'all, like just seeing y'all out there, and maybe you said you haven't performed that much, but when you have performed, it's like not different every time, but it's different. It's like maybe something you missed the first time you performed, but when I watch it again on another congress, you get it, or there's more energy, or there's something, and that's what I'm seeing. So that's my point as a voyeur, just with y'all. And is it River, the black one?
Oh yeah, that one. That's the one.
Oh hi. Oh my God, that was awesome. I was like, oh my God, and I watch it every single time, and you have his face. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, yes. And I like replay, so it starts again. And so if you got extra, that's probably me just sitting here on my phone.
That's why I want
more
long hair.
dances on my Instagram. Tetyana.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. That's why
I did bring it back recently, so that was a routine we had with the team back in 2018.
Okay.
2018, 2019. Around that time, so I performed as a team, and then I did a few times as a solo because, as you said, my passion. I'm a little crazy. I go to all the events all the time, perform all the things. Most other people can't do that much, so it's like instead of dragging people along and making them pay money for travel that they can't do, it's like, okay, well, I'm free. I'll go. I'll perform. So started doing some solo shows, and that was one of the ones I did, and then. Just a couple months ago, was invited to do a performance in Houston. I was like, I want to bring this routine back. Haven't done it in a while. I don't want to do any of our current routines because I want to leave the opportunity for the team to do it, showcase. But old stuff, I had done a few other routines in Houston already. And it's like, this one we haven't done in a while. So
yeah, bring it
fun,
back.
so
I love the
bring it
flipping the hair. That's what I want. When I see it, I'm like, one long hair. But I don't last. Like I just want to
long hair.
No, like long hair, like like the long hair, with the ponytail up here and it's still freaking long. That's how I want. I just want to flip my head like all the way around, like hitting people in the face. That's the kind of experience I want. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely bring it back. I love it. That was like the one you mentioned. It's one of the ones that we always love to see. I'm pushing people like, no, I need to look. Whenever we were going out and like doing the socials. So knowing this, that doesn't come so naturally for you. You feel it doesn't come so naturally. So what kind of tips can you give to people who feel in that same spot? Like I know being sexy to me doesn't always come so naturally, especially when I'm moving. Okay, I can flirt. I can definitely flirt when I'm talking.
It's more like a words now.
Yeah, when I'm talking, like, do my little pun, whatever, and they know I'm flirting. But like, trying to be like seductive or like flirting with your body when you're dancing or you're on the dance floor or just like walking into a freaking room. Like you guys command attention when you walk into a room. You guys do. And I think everybody, it does. Like, especially when you guys are all dolled up. I remember one experience, we went to Austin with Lola and we were in a group. And I remember with Antoinette, we were dressed up and we were going into that hookah bar in that Austin on that 6th Street. I think you were there. You were there with another team.
Did I go?
Yes, you went. I could have sworn you went. I'm pretty sure you went. We had to come in like the crowd, and pretty much Antoinette was the first one. And if you guys know Antoinette tall, beautiful woman that she is. She walks in, she commanded that thing where everybody like stopped, and the video camera guys like, can y'all walk in again like that? And we had to like come in and walk in like that. Like, shit, Antoinette's being sexy, y'all have to be sexy, you have to come in. The camera's gonna come in. So like that commanding of like just that essence, like she has it, Antoinette when she was dancing.
She's a drill sergeant.
Yeah, she's a drill sergeant.
She has a
command, but she was a drill sergeant, and the dance floor she was more like suiting sexiness and confidence, right? So, but she does have definitely a presence no matter what. Yeah. Gosh dang it, sorry guys, these lights were coming in with me today. But what do you guys do? Do you guys like pet? I know this is the damn one. Sorry guys, I'm bad. I'm actually bad before coming here. It's kind of hot.
It's like yes.
It's kind of hot and I'm sizzling. No. So what do you guys do? Like, what do you guys do to prep yourself to knowing that this dance is a very kind of sexy dance, kind of very confident dance? Like, what do you guys do to get you guys there?
I feel like it's a little bit. I mean, I don't go totally to the full extreme, but kind of like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce.
Okay.
So she's talked about, she has this persona, like, she herself, at least when she started, her Beyonce, she's like, I'm this quiet little girl from Houston, a conservative family, like me going out doing all these performances or singing in front of people, like that's not who I am, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. So she created a persona of Sasha Fierce. So she's like, when I go on stage, it's not me, it's this
person, right?
other person persona. So I don't feel like I do that explicitly or consciously, but it's sort of to that effect. Like I treat it as a performance. This is the show, this is what the music portrays, this is the story that the choreography is telling, this was the choreographer's intent for what it's supposed to look like, and that's what I try to act out and portray. And then as soon as we're done, I'm like, give me my hoodie and sweatpants, and I just want to be comfortable and like take all this makeup off and stuff. Just like I said, growing up dancing from little kitty jazzy groups, I've been a gnome, I've been a Barbie, I've been a mushroom, I've been an octopus. So like if I can perform as those things, like to me it's all just a performance, just a show, just for the fun of it and display. And I can't even do that for a prolonged period of time. Like I can maybe walk in a room and play all sexy and I'm like, okay, that's enough, like that's all I got, I'm just kidding. Please don't take me seriously, that's not, no.
I don't do that. How about yourself, Jeanné?
I don't even know if I'm that good at playing somebody else. I like literally before we go on stage, and this will be for something that I might feel a little less confident in, like my level costume or that routine, and like I'm just like I like jump a little bit and I'm like, alright, just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. And then we go out there and then I wait. I think the worst part is like right before the music starts. Like I might feel fine. I'm like, let's just go. And then we walk on stage and I'm like, hi everybody or whatever, and then we set and then I'm like I feel like I'm like now gonna start turning red with adrenaline, and then I'm just like, well, I hope everything works the way it's supposed to in like 0.5 seconds because it's gonna happen. I need to do it now, and then I just go, and then like literally when it's over, walking down the little steps from the stage, I'm just like, I need the rails. My legs are like jello, like that, like no, the adrenaline is just like
completely out of your system, like
or like. Still super high, and I'm like, be normal. You just walk normal, like you can make it down the stairs. And then like by the time we get like off backstage, I'm like exhausted because like it's so exhausting.
And those have been like 2 minutes.
Yes, that's also a thing, right? Just 2 minutes 20 seconds.
and it's really short after the whole thing. You think it's gonna be forever. Yours is like minutes, like seconds before you're on stage and you get that nerve, like that rush of nerves. I get like this when I'm on the stairs, like when you're waiting to go up into the stairs, like or like those couple minutes when you know that the other dance team is up there and you're just waiting for them to be done and you're like, I forgot to dance. Like, you know, what's this? What's that? You know, I get like blank. I blank out sometimes, or I just forget little parts. I'm like, I'm really nervous. I feel like I need to throw up. I need to go to the restroom. You know, I need to go like do something. But once I get on the stage, it's like, whatever. It's already too late to back out. So I'm already there and just perform. But that's how.
Like, I can still run now.
Adrenaline is tricky.
I get a little bit more calmer when I'm on stage, but before going to sit in that little, when you're in the next group and you're waiting, you're seeing them do their thing, and that's when it gets really, really nerve-wracking for me. And I forget, I remember like asking people, or people are asking me stuff, and I'm like, I can't concentrate, I can't.
I'm getting myself.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to the corner and be by myself and like just stare at the wall, so that way I don't get even more nervous. Because when people start asking me, and then I need to remember those parts that they're asking me for, and it's like I can't do it. I just like I feel bad, but I just can't do it because it's just too much. I feel like I'm gonna throw up in the face. Like if I'm like you know,
adrenaline stuff, but I feel like practice, once again, back to that, just doing it over and over again. Me since I was 5, I did dance, I did piano for a few years too, so that's a whole solo recital thing. I don't remember anything, but did it. And one quote I really liked, I heard it in a like workshop we were doing, and the instructor said, "You'll never get rid of the butterflies, but you can teach them to fly in formation." So like I still get quote unquote nervous because adrenaline is there, your body starts acting in anticipation of this thing, even if you've been doing it for years and know what's coming and you've practiced the routine, but still the anxiety will be there. But it's what you do with it. Do you blank out, freak out, freeze, do you run the stage, do you shake, or do you put it, that's another thing that I used to put into that performance. Like all that energy, adrenaline.
Put it in the performance.
The more full out I do the moves, the easier it is for my body to like push that adrenaline out there.
Yeah.
So that helps as well with the effective performing and
Performing.
doing it bigger and more intense, aggressive, whatever. That way, I'm using that adrenaline in some way. Butterflies going in formation versus freaking out, freezing, forgetting, getting distracted with something else.
Yeah. I definitely blacked out, I think, once when I was in Island Touch.
Oh, I still have to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen. Mistakes happen.
Well,
You fix the wrong
on
way.
stage, so
I
I think people thought it was part of the routine, and I
Think
just
so.
stood there. I was like, oh my god.
Because you all have like solos and that, so I'm like, oh, she's gonna do a solo.
She was like, I would have busted. I'm like, oh my, it's my moment. But no, I just forgot. I said, oh my god. And I think I was asking. So like she said, you're asking someone else, and they may have a different part that they're stuck on, and I just needed this one moment, and sure enough, it happened. It never happened. I performed since 2013, and this was the only time that I just ran into, like, I don't remember. For some reason, I cannot, like, after we turned, like, I was like, what do we do? What do we do? And you've said it to me, because you're just like, if you practice, you'd know. And I'm like, it's not that. It's not, I swear to God. And sure enough, the song came on, and I just stood there, and I said, okay. And then I'm, like, trying to catch up, and then I caught up, and then I missed another part, and I said, oh, shit. But we had another opportunity, which is great with these teams, is that if you perform it as an opening in one city, you can, if you can travel and you're able to perform it again, or even now, there's more opportunities in San Antonio.
Yeah.
I turned it on at this. I think we were in Austin, or was it Houston? It was just us three. I think it was. It was in Houston.
It was in Houston, yeah.
They like mine kind of a little bit more over there in Houston. I'm a little fuller, so they're just kind of like, hey, you got it. And I was just like, oh my goodness, and I had so much fun, but. It was just one of those things that, you never know when it's going to come. Because I get the nerves right before, and then the music's on, and I'm like, okay, let's go. So if you've ever seen him, like, I'm in the back. But thank God, because if you see me up close, I'm counting from looking up. So it's crazy. But fun nonetheless, because afterwards, you're like, okay, that's great.
It's good. Yeah, it's really quick. I'm like, shoot, can we do it again? Like, I'm not nervous anymore. But I guess that's a good tip, what you said, Tetyana, because actually our instructor, Monica, would tell us, she would have create like an alias, like this is your alter ego. Did you have one? What was
I think
did
you
you
came
ever?
up with one for me.
I don't know. I don't know, but I think you had a name, but I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was, but I know I used Riri, like Rihanna, so that's like was my alter ego at that point. But I guess that's like a good thing to use it just in your daily life, like if you're gonna go out and dance or have that little alter personality. It might not be yours all the time, like when you're like mingling or in social dancing, but at least it helps you get out of your shell a little bit.
Especially for the choreographies, like since they're not my creations, I do try to channel the person who did choreograph them. So for some of my routines, it's Jeanné Martinez from Mexico. So her routines, I like watch how she dances and try to give that similar energy, vibe, persona. Or for the Alex and Desiree routines, the traditional bachata stuff, Desiree Gottsell is who I try to like what would Desiree do? How can I try to
whip it more?
emulate that? Yes.
Yeah, those are like very distinct. Like they exude all that, so it's like a very good, like kind of like I guess a model or something you can kind of say, okay, this is what she likes. They're very, I guess they model their brand very well to what they're dancing and everything else, right? So, so talking about like you guys, we mentioned social dancing a lot. And social dancing is very different. So than regular clubbing or regular going out in a regular quinceañera or tejano or whatever,
I can't even do that anymore. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Someone leave me. I can't do my own moves anymore.
I've always said it's very different to typical dancing to go into social dancing, to like an actual social dance event. What would do you guys think it's okay for women to ask the guy out to dance, or is it still very traditional in social? I know the answer, but I'm just asking.
I'm like, I don't think I would dance nearly as much if I didn't ask.
Okay.
Dance. Like,
Why do you think that? Why do you think the guys are so shy? It's known social dancing. We're all going to dance with each other.
I think like It's because I guess it depends on where we are. So when we were at Houston for BIG, there's a lot of people I don't know, and when there's a lot of people I don't know, they'll look at me and be like, maybe not that one.
Okay.
Right? Like I don't know. Like that's kind of my interpretation of it because we will make eye contact. We both clearly want to dance, but if I don't ask them, and maybe if I do, they still say no, but like they won't come ask me. So I just kind of like scope. Right? I watch everybody and I'm like, oh, I want to ask that person to dance later. I'll ask that person to dance. But then there's also the times where I'm like, I've taken a workshop and I'm like, I don't want to ask that other person to dance, right? Like, we did not mesh very well. Yeah, like they have the style that they are wanting to do, I don't know that I'm going to fully enjoy that either. And then it's kind of weird. But I've also been asked to dance by strangers who afterwards I'm like, maybe we'll ask them to dance again. Because it's just off, like not everybody has chemistry.
Yeah.
But I would say like 90% of the dances that I had just this last weekend in Houston, I asked.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter who it is, one of the pros, anybody, friends, I usually ask.
Nice. Is that what you usually do?
I have been asked to, yeah. Got to a point where don't care, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it does depend on my mood. Sometimes I feel a bit more outgoing or less outgoing, and sometimes I'll feel a little shy and I'll be like, I'll dance if somebody asks, but not really excited to. And other times I'm feeling every song and want to dance everything, and I'll just grab whoever. Or after being in the scene for like 9, almost 10 years now, I know a lot of people, so with friends, you're just like, point at you. Let's go.
Let's do it.
And then it's not even like treated as a
ask.
Would you dance with me, please?
Yeah.
You're like, or sometimes just like walk up to a person and start dancing because we're friends, and like just make eye contact and just assume that we're dancing together.
That's what happens with the girls. If I'm like walking over to a group of friends and then we look at each other and the girls are like start dancing and then I'm like, okay, it is. So then we go dance.
All right, so that's good to know. So social dancing is pretty much, it's more used to the women asking the guys out, just because they are still questioning whether or not you know how to move, but it also comes down to, like you guys said, like I've noticed, like if you know each other, then you're more willing to like ask each other. So what would you guys be like, any dance etiquette tips that you would like to share there for men and for women? Because we've seen, as a bystander, me looking, I've seen some crazy stuff that guys are doing. Is like, I don't think she's enjoying that, or like vice versa. So
I've seen and heard of crazy stuff that women do too.
Yeah,
so
well, vice versa.
It's not one-sided.
I think for
first, like even before, sorry, I'm gonna start with hygiene. Oh please, I know it's not etiquette, but kind of before.
It still is kind of etiquette.
Shower, clean clothes, brush teeth. Like you don't need to go all vabbing on yourself, but but clean up. It's definitely a lot more pleasant to interact with a person who's clean. And obviously, dancing is a physical activity. We're all gonna sweat, and that's acceptable, but there's still some things you can do to minimize that with bringing extra shirts and wearing deodorant and towels to wipe. Smell is the biggest thing. Like, I feel like if somebody I'm dancing with, even if they're sweaty, you're just like, cool, like we all are, can accept it. If it comes with a better scent, you're like, we'll make it work. When there's a scent attached to it, a lot less pleasant. So, basic ground rules. All genders, just general personal cleanliness.
Personal hygiene
will go a long way.
Okay, that's definitely. You would think that would be like considerate, but a lot of people just forget, or they don't smell themselves. They can't really smell themselves, so they can't really know that they're putting off that heavy musk. My partner's a very heavy sweater, so he like sweats like drips.
I do too.
On my head, a lot.
So he has to carry, like I have to carry like a towel because he'll forget, like where's the damn towel? Let me dab you down, because it's not nice that you're sweating on people. You know what I mean? So the dabbing down, we understand that too as well with people who sweat a lot. Sometimes it's just the sweaty hands kind of thing. You just remember like have that towel, hand towel there to kind of dab it in. But it's kind of, that stuff is kind of inevitable sometimes. But what other tips would you guys give out?
Prerequisite, but you started saying.
I was gonna say like watching your surroundings, and this could go for guys or the leads and the follows, because I know there's a lot of people. We're dancing around a lot of people, and sometimes you can't, like the leads can't see behind their head, or vice versa, right? So sometimes I'll give them a nice little like, hey,
Hold, push.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't travel backwards after all. I know you want to, and I'm really sorry, but now there's people there, right? Like there wasn't, but now there is. Or like at Houston, I had a okay dance with somebody, and then they led me into like a dip, but I knew that there was somebody behind me, but they still went for it, and so I had to do this really weird like matrixy thing.
Yeah.
So like my head wasn't gonna get like hit by the other person. So I'm like, how did they not see them? Like that kind of like, dang, you know, like it would have been fine, but like now you made it
We've
weird.
been dipped into other people.
Right, but like just being aware. We've all probably had it happen to us and heard a lot of people like hitting people, and I mean sometimes you can't. Like I've hit people trying to style an arm, and they're like walking through the crowd or walking around, and I'm like, you weren't there, 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
But that is actually pretty valid because there's a lot of people who lose themselves in the dancing and they're trying to do like very extravagant moves in a very tight, crowded area. I'm like, cool, but just like watch yourself. But like I hit a lot of people in their crotches or like in their butts or grab their butts. And, like, whoops, sorry, I really didn't mean to, but my hand was just like, trying to do something. And like I've hit girls in their crotches, like when I'm trying to do like those things or whatever, and they're right there, and I've hit their crotch, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Right underwear.
Yeah. Like, I felt pain in that area, but it's just weird, but I do understand. But what you mentioned that, because some people don't know, like when you're grabbing your partner or whatever around the waist and the shoulder, if you see something, you can actually do that pressure point.
Even if it's just the one hand.
Yeah, even the one hand on there, you can squeeze it.
Hold them back.
Yeah, squeeze it a little bit or push that back, towards you. Like, hey, that should tell them like, oh, there's something behind me. So those little tips that some people that are just like, oh, I'm just gonna let him, but you can actually tell them like, hey, there's something behind you. Squeeze.
Most of the people I've danced with appreciate it.
Yeah.
After,
Yeah.
like, oh, thank you. Yeah. So, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I do that a lot too with my partner. We're dancing, squeezing him. I'm like, hey, it's like left, right. He knows where like not to go. So. Because his shoulders has gotten us in trouble before. That's a whole other story. But that's a good one too. So how do you feel like, okay, so you guys explained like the nervousness, everything else. Do you guys like the rush you guys get when you're dancing or right after? Like, do you love that rush? Or, because I do like the rush. Like, I love the rush, but then, of course, I get the really bad nerves beforehand. But do you guys like it? Do you guys feel anything with that rush?
I literally, like, if I start feeling it, I'm like, nope. Like I don't want to, because then it makes me more nervous.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, no, it's nothing. It's not a big deal. You're just gonna go out there and do
I'm
this
just
routine
dancing
in front
in
of
the living
people.
room.
Yeah. I don't know that I feel it other than like performing, like social dancing. I don't really feel a rush, even if it's dancing with somebody I really want to dance with.
Okay.
I don't really.
You don't feel that rush.
It's
Okay.
cool. It's all cool. We're cool.
Nice.
Casual.
Yeah.
Casual.
Always dance with a pro. How about you?
I feel like I can't say that I don't like it because I would not be performing as much as I
Yeah.
do if I did not, on some level, somewhere, somehow enjoy it. So it's definitely fun in its own stressful, crazy way. I say that with my performances and just procrastinating and running late all the time. That's all the adrenaline I need in my life. So I don't like roller coasters. I don't watch scary movies. I don't like spicy food. So that's where she gets her adrenaline. I have my procrastination and performing.
I still
Like,
procrastinate
okay,
sometimes.
That's enough adrenaline in my life. Keep everything else chill.
Did you ever like the rush though, like when you would perform and stuff?
Yeah, if I got it,
Mm-hmm.
I would, because normally I'm either on or I'm off, and I mean by the costumes were always hot. I just run hot, period. So like I think the brown one was like the velour or something.
Yes.
That one just like wrapped me, and I was like, can we perform already? Because I was melting down. I was just saying we gotta do this, and I think once we did it, I was like, oh okay. All of a sudden I'm cool, and I'm like, hey, all right, well we can go again, I guess, So it was just. I lived off that, so that was always good. I think it was just getting it over with. That maybe that was my high. I was like, okay, we're great. One down, So, but
There's also a sense of accomplishment that comes with it, right? Like throughout the season, however many months, you're working towards creating this project, this vision, effort. You're all learning together, training to improve, to learn the choreography, improve your technique, get the costumes to present the show. And once you do, and if all goes well, and you're like, yes, we did it, we accomplished the thing, and that's exciting too.
I like that we reviewed the video afterwards. Sometimes, I don't know if it's with all of the teams, but we would be like, oh, okay, so that was the sense of accomplishment too, because it was like, I'm being told your foot goes here, this is part of the choreography, and I wouldn't do it, and then I get it, and I'm like, oh, I did it, I freaking did it. I was like, I need not to be told, and then it'll go. So when I'm being told, it's just like, no.
Yeah.
But,
I actually personally don't like viewing the videos right after. I wait until like the next day, because after we're done performing, like, it's done, it's in the past, there's nothing we can do about it now. If it went well, awesome. If it didn't, oh well, next time. So for the rest of the night, I do this and I tell my team, like, go enjoy social dance, have fun, like, whatever happened, happens. You can't change it now. So enjoy the rest of the night, and then next rehearsal, then we'll review and correct mistakes. There's no need to worry about it now. Like, it's done.
That's what happened for San Antonio, the BIG. We didn't get videos right after. We hadn't seen those performances until like a week or so before Houston. So we didn't even know. We were just like guessing. We saw like some stories, right? And we're like, well, that looks good, or maybe we can work on this thing. But we were all kind of guessing what we could do better. And then, but afterwards, like, we would have people come up to us and say like they really liked the show, or it was so good, and we were like, cool, thank you.
Are you sure? Are you talking to
Yeah.
Are you being nice, or is this genuine feedback?
Yeah.
And then for Houston, we saw it like right away, and even in stories, and I like messed up a couple times in one of them, and I was like, well, at least I know what it looks like. But I also was very aware that I did that. So it was just kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
So either way, I was like, like, now we all know.
Yeah.
That's the cool/scary thing about live performances or like live art. It's just happening in the moment. There's so many variables. No matter how much you practice or rehearse or train, obviously it all helps. But even with that, like, floor could be slippery, or music gets messed up, or the crowd's vibe is different, or like so many variables and things that can change and go wrong that you just can't predict. So live art is that's the price we pay.
Or there's people there who weren't there last time, and they're cheering for you, or you can see them and you're like, oh, they're watching
that freaks
me.
you out.
Yeah.
The space is different, it's smaller, and you're
It's not
probably
really
like
close to you, kind of thing. There's not like a space between the crowd and the dance floor, and usually that's how you end up like doing it in smaller socials. When they're like literally right there, you know. So.
And you also can't practice performing except for just performing. No matter how much you pretend or go full out in practice, it's still not the same vibe. The adrenaline is still not quite there.
Oh yeah.
So just by doing more and more performances is how you get better, but obviously the earlier ones might be kind of rough and may not give a great show first, but it's something you gotta get through and keep practicing.
Yeah.
Forget about it and move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's a good thing about, I kind of forget what happens like last week and stuff. So like, I did do that, didn't I? Yeah. So with dancing and y'all's different styles, so you dance like, who do you guys have like icons? Do you guys have like somebody who you look up to in the dance world that kind of like triggers this passion and this like journey?
I feel like my current two role models, whom I've mentioned, are Jeanné Martinez and Desiree Gottsell. Love their dancing vibe, style, bachata, personality. They're sexy stars, full of energy, whatever, on stage, and then off stage they're a cool person. They're silly, they're fun, they have kids, families, like super awesome people, get along with everyone, and I really love both of them. They're dancing, training with them, how they teach, how they're as people, and definitely look up to them both.
Yeah, I have like a chunk of people because I've never directly trained under any dance instructor. Like, it's just been a variety of things, and then I mean like going to a lot of events or meeting a lot of people, and then social media, like seeing how, you know, they portray themselves and whatnot. Danielle is probably Danielle De Leon. Do you guys know who she is? Yes? Okay. I just think like she's so talented, and yet she's so just real and normal. And I just like really like that. Ernesto and Denise, just like the way that they hold themselves and the way that they direct their teams, and the teams themselves being a representation of like how they are as instructors, and like that's really cool. But then also like Johan Ibanez from Dallas, just normal people who are so talented, and like I just feel like that's really cool. Like they don't have to have all this hype and all of this crazy social media presence to just like do what they do and be really good at it. But also like I like to create, so I really enjoy like So You Think You Can Dance, and not just for like the dancers but for the choreographers. So I'll watch it and I'm like, that's Mia Michaels, that's Travis Wall, and I just like know, and they're inspirational on like how they can portray like a story or make you feel something. So like that's cool. That's kind of like, it's not just like them as dancers or anything, but just how they think.
I really those are like good examples of you guys admire. I think I kind of see it through y'all's like the way you talk and the way you guys create and dance and perform. I also like seeing like what they do, like you know, like you said, like, how they're just normal people, but then they have like this like so much massive like talent. That's why it's like it's so funny like to hear like their day jobs, because sometimes I get to like, this is what you do, right? This is what you all the time with Tetyana. Like people forget that this is not her full time. So same thing with like with Antoinette, like she's an amazing dancer and then she's a drill sergeant like during the day. Like she's screaming at people really hard. You know what I mean? So it's just amazing like their day life and then what they do in passion and like their dancing life. So I'm always like, what do you do? Like what else do you do? Like is this, you know, what is it? So but yeah, I do like listening or seeing the full picture of that dancer.
That's a really cool thing about the dance world, like Latin dance world specifically, is you meet people from all different careers and jobs, and like it's so at work you're around people who all do the same things and then might have different hobbies, and maybe you'll connect with someone, maybe not. Here on the flip side, you're all gathered around the same hobby, and then each person has their individual. So they're like real estate agents, nurses, teachers, contractors, IT people, like anything and everything, and it's really cool.
Yeah, that's what I do appreciate about the whole land dancing. So what do you guys have like any goals or like hopes for the San Antonio land dancing? Because I know it's grown, I know it's changed a little bit, but any hopes of it? Or being run by women? Because a lot of the social dancing scenes are they run by usually like a male figure?
I think that's the not formula, but that's kind of like how it feels. Especially if you want to have like partner work classes. Like I've tried teaching partner work classes before, and like it's advertised as me as the instructor, and I don't get a lot of people coming, and I feel like it's because I don't have a partner. And the partner is not a man.
Okay.
And whenever you go to a congress or a workshop event and it's just a female, like it has to be like Shines or something. It's not her teaching the partner work class, although that's probably more beneficial in some cases. Especially because during partner work classes, like the leads forget to, like the follows don't get as much instruction. We just follow, and we're like, cool.
But how do I follow? Okay, so that in that realm, you would like it to kind of change it, or
but that's like that's not just San Antonio. It's like everywhere.
It's definitely improving little by little, little by little.
You know, and I see it in y'all's teams.
Female leads, or male follows. A lot of instructors are thankfully adopting gender neutral terms. You say your partner or rotate them instead of he raises his hand and then she goes under or whatever. So that's really cool to see as well. But little by little.
I think like in San Antonio, it would be really cool to maybe have more collaboration efforts.
Okay.
More of a cohesive, this is our dance community, versus like I do this and they do that. Individually, this is what we bring, and like that's it. Like you can't do more or less because they're covering. It's
they do this on Tuesdays. We can't do that on Tuesdays. Like,
Yeah,
bit
or-
more into
yeah.
basic terms.
It's
But
like,
yeah.
Definitely feels a little competitive on the business side. I mean, we're all civil and friendly with each other on a personal level, right? We're all still here to dance, and on the grand scheme of things, all have the same goals of having more dancers, having better dancers, having good events and socials, bringing in instructors, but definitely more of each group and organization doing that individually on their own with their own path towards that vision, rather than us working collectively and cohesively
as a dance
as a
community.
community.
I think like our like personally the Tukum-Pá team that we just had was really cool because it's like a bunch of people I hadn't really gotten to dance with before because they were part of other teams, and then we just it was almost like this is happening, we're all gonna dance together. So we had like some of the salsa on too, some of Esta Noche, we had TDance, Tukum-Pá, but it was just like all doing the one thing together, and I don't know, that was really cool.
That's nice. That's like that all these different dance studios.
Like the
were
picture
able
of
to-
us. I
Yeah.
was like, that's cool.
For sure.
That's nice. So can you explain a little bit more of the history of how do you say it? Tukum-Pá. Can you explain a little bit more? Because not many people.
I mean,
Or what kind of style is it? You don't have to go so deep. Like,
Oh.
it happened in 1960.
no, it's just, I mean, I don't know. It's literally
It's whatever Jeanné wants to
I
do.
want to do.
That's what I'm saying. Explain it.
I'd say
Has it
like,
been all salsa? And a cha-cha? You haven't done
Is it a
bachata?
mixture?
well, I haven't done bachata because there's a lot of bachata.
True.
So it's like, people want to do bachata.
They can go somewhere
But I've
else.
done bachata routines with like Jesus for LDS, for Latin Dance Society at UTSA. But like for Tukum-Pá itself, yeah, mostly salsa, some partner work, shines. We did like a ladies fusion routine.
That's fun.
We did a cha-cha. I know, I'm like, I want to do something like that again. This season is another lady shines, but it's salsa. Still kind of fusion. Yeah, I mean that's how I feel like I dance. I'm not like again trained by anybody specifically, so I just pick up what I like, what it feels good to me, and then I
Put it together.
yeah, I'm like, this is what's really helped me do this type of move or spins or whatever it is. And then, especially with her help, like just Thursday, I was like, I can't figure out how to explain this simple thing anymore. And she's like, I got you. I was like, thank you so much. I had like brain for it. Like I couldn't remember.
Breakdown, execution.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, that's right. Do that.
Wow, that's good that you guys you explained it, because I know people are gonna hear that word like, what is your number? You know, so
yeah.
do you have like a favorite like style dance or a different like favorite genre?
Prefer bachata.
Prefer bachata?
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. Different varieties, sensual, traditional. Gotta have fun.
Okay. I really like the Dominican bachata, even though I'm not
That's
surprised
fun.
by like the first 16 steps. But
But
yeah.
quads are fine.
Yeah, like, I need to work out, but then I'm too lazy to work out. So it's like a cycle of
You
what I
dance,
need.
so you like trick yourself into working out.
I
That's
know.
something you're like, ooh, we're just having fun. And you're like, but actually.
But actually, yeah, it's a workout.
Oh, you join our teams where we also do workouts in addition to.
I have not been a part of some of the exercise, but oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't miss those at all.
See,
But I like kidding me. I just like to dance.
Dance is a physical activity.
I know.
And to prevent injuries.
Why not?
Which is like,
You
do
know,
a
like
triple
the
spin,
most
and you're like,
is if
oh, I
she
pulled a
couldn't do
muscle.
something, she's like, well, I have an exercise for that, and I'm like, oh shit, I can do it.
Oh man. So, do you guys have anything upcoming? Any future event? Oh, I wanted to ask you guys. Would you guys ever host a social? Like do a social?
Theoretically would. Just feel like, once again, there's already a lot of events happening in San Antonio. Have every Wednesday night, every Thursday night there's a Latin dance social. Every Friday there's an event.
Sure.
Almost every Saturday, 2 or 3 Saturdays a month there's something. So just a lot, and I don't feel like there's really a need for an extra thing.
Yeah.
But theoretically would and could, just not my focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big of a community yet to have multiple events happening on the same night and still have a good turnout for everybody. So
Yeah.
for now, anyway, it's mostly just if we have the energy.
Yeah.
I
I'll
go
support.
the other events, bring my teams to perform there
Yeah.
because that helps with promotion. People bring their friends to come watch the show. So and there's an extra thing for people to come and see at the social. So rather and an opportunity for the teams to perform and showcase themselves. So I feel like it's a mutual, symbiotic,
Yeah.
beneficial thing that
Definitely
in
is.
which I can support other events versus adding another thing that's just gonna compete more than really help the community. So my focus is on teams and performances, and occasionally bring instructors for training. Most of the people that I like or the dance style that the teams are doing, so we can help a current team and then also offer the opportunity to the community if anybody else wants to come and join and get extra learning benefit as well. They're more than welcome to. I'd be happy to see them.
Nice. When does the season end for you guys?
This one will be end of January.
Oh shit, that's still a little dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
we just kicked off, got through like a
Okay,
month and a
yeah,
little bit.
started,
We
yeah.
started early
Uh-huh.
August. So typically I have been doing 6-month seasons,
Okay.
mostly because that's how the franchise teams are run and that's their like contract cycle. So I've been trying to squeeze that in along with what events there are. So there's the Houston Salsa Congress in January, and then in the fall there are 3 events that happen in Texas. So we kind of try to make teams and performances available for all of those. So try to kind of make a 6-month cycle to fit that in.
Nice. What's y'all's next performance?
This performance will be we're doing one on Thursday at Texas A&M University for their Hispanic Month event.
Oh, nice.
So bring a few routines, and then we're going to Austin on Saturday for ATX Latin Fusion and performing a routine there as well.
Nice. I wish you guys the best and
Thank you.
congratulations. Thank you. Don't freak out.
I'll try.
And then bring out those personalities you guys bring out. Even though you guys don't think you do, but y'all definitely do. Yeah, y'all definitely do.
Yeah, I'm like, you say so.
You definitely do. Trust me, you guys do. We're just like, oh, okay, let's close our mouth a little bit.
And personality.
She definitely did that. So this is pretty much the end of season 1. So this is our last episode for the season. Thank you for joining us. We are going to take a little bit of a break, remainder of September, and then season 2 will come in, kind of kick it off. It might be a little bit different, but we'll see how it goes up in October. I'm not going to say a date because I still don't know what date I want to go back at it again. But definitely looking forward for the new guests and the new people that are coming on. Thank you guys for joining me. Really appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Sorry about my extra guests, the freaking flies. You know, I was working outside, coming in and out, and they just decided to stay. So, and I wasn't happy, okay? So there you go. I definitely wasn't doing that. I like to end the episodes with a little quote. So it's pretty much sexy isn't a shape, it's an attitude. I think that's what you guys pretty much are saying. It's an attitude, just a whole like pepping yourself up, and whatever you do, just kind of like figure that out. What attitude you want to show. But definitely is something just to remember. It doesn't really matter, like men really don't care or anybody really don't care, but it's like that presence you bring in and how you feel validated for yourself.
Yeah, like if you believe it.
Yeah, and even like
Plus to each their own.
Yeah,
right? Like,
to-
not
whatever
everyone is gonna find you
works.
attractive.
Yes.
Not everyone's gonna find me attractive, and
the one, as long as you find yourself
Yes.
attractive, you did good, and so it's pretty much just the attitude you're bringing out to the world. So it's something I learned very well during the Latin season. Is like, shit, I don't feel this costume, this outfit, or I'm on my period when I'm performing, you know. And it's just like that's the hardest. Like I just want to eat ice cream and like look at everybody ugly, you know. It's the kind of mood that I'm in. But just learning that whole persona helped me out a lot. Just like switch it on that way. But yeah, definitely. So thanks guys. See you on next season, and that's it. Bye.
Thank you.